Welcome back, everybody, to another episode. We're back here on No Man's Land. It is Thursday, June 18th, about 8:30. Hope you guys are all having a good night tonight. And we're back here on No Man's Land. This is the starting with $0. Actually, it was negative $7 and a chainsaw and the old truck over here. That's all we really had. But we started doing some logging, got rid of some of these trees up here. I still have to come in with the stump grinder and clean some of this bits up over here. The old floating log, clean some of this stuff up and come in here and get some of these trees harvested. We'll try and clear all these trees out. Maybe we could do a lot of that today. We do have the good harvester, the MRF edition. I should turn up my game volume here just a little bit. Yeah, the master volume. Hey, what's up, Mr. Gamer? How's it going, dude? Welcome back. Oh, great. It's going to do that to me the whole time again. My message is just going to keep on. I don't know why it does that. It's so weird. I probably will come in and clear out those smaller trees too. For now, we're just going to be getting all these trees brought over right over here to the log mill. Just want to get enough money so maybe we can work on getting another piece of land, and then we need like a truck for transport. We'll leave this over here and we'll have to transport our logs back to here. So we have the tractor with the dozer. Once we get enough logs here, we'll push them all forward and stuff. He said I have to go because I gotta go sleep because yesterday I slept at 6 a.m. Bye. Alright, we'll see you, dude. Just wait until you gotta work all day and then do it, you know? Sleep, you can sleep when you're dead. Not enough hours in the day for sleep. That's what it's like though, being an adult. You work all day, you come home, you work all day, turn a video game, you work all night. Get some sleep, go back, do it again. Oh, come on, I was stuck on there. That was weird. Oops. Sometimes I'll go the wrong direction when I'm first picking up logs until I start getting the hang of it. Just keep on dragging these out of here for a bit. I always come up this way and then turn. You always you have to like try to think about your best line of which way you want the tree facing. So I always back up here and then I'll turn. Like my new move is turning to where the tree is up against the front of the harvester. It's like not realistic, but when you turn like this, it turns the whole tree since there's nothing in the way back there. And as soon as it's like at the line that you want, then you swing it back over, and then your tree is now where you want it to be. And then you can adjust it, you know, it's into your pile. That's been working out pretty well so far. think I'll probably just start taking down some of these smaller ones too. Just get them out of the way. I was going to leave them, but we do want the money from this piece of land that we got here. And then, you know, eventually we'll turn this piece of land into more fields and stuff like that. I did turn on seasons, so it would be nice to play it slow and be able to get some fields out there this season, you know. I guess we do have some time, because if I do like soybeans or corn or something like that, maybe I'll do corn. If I do something like that, then we have to wait until the ground's warmer. We can't do like wheat. We could do like wheat or oats or something, but we can't do the other ones. All the other oats, barley, stuff like that, you can start planting earlier because the ground doesn't need to be as cold. But like soybeans and corn and that kind of stuff, all that needs to be warmer ground temp for it to germinate. Hard to see what's going on in there sometimes. You lower it down right until the harvester starts lifting up, and you pull it back up a little bit, grab it, and then lift it up, drag it back. See, the trees are little, but it's like half of one of the big ones. So it's not a bad little bit. So 2 of those is like one of the big trees almost. Maybe not quite that much. But it's not terrible. Yeah, this MRF edition harvester is super nice. I really like it a lot. It's a good one. These smaller trees are a lot easier to manipulate, move around. The big ones are pretty heavy. Hey, what's up, Pooter? Walker? How's it going, dude? Yeah, it's a big old tree. You definitely feel the weight difference when you're pulling one of these bigger trees around. So yeah, like what I was doing. Get over here. See how it's not the right angle if I drag it like this. And then use it up against the harvester there, it can flip the tree the right direction. We'll do like maybe another big one or something, and I'll sell that stack. I don't want it to get all too glitchy over here. Oh, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Glad you're doing well. We'll grab this big one over here too. Get on there. It's because this needs to be further out like this. Alright, cool. Now we're gonna turn that off. We're gonna get in the tractor with the dozer blade on it. And then we can lower this down. And we'll just slowly push all these in. I don't want to get them all jammed up back there. I just want them like within the trigger. Raise that up a little bit more. I was like kind of dragging the blade right on the ground. It wouldn't let me go forward. Just gotta lift up a little bit, and then it should be fine. Maybe I'll go ahead and keep this there. That way they don't roll. Like that. Yep, I would be able to see how much that was, except for that stupid thing. Like 140 messages, really? Like, oh, you were just using the same tractor? That's funny. But like the same thing happened last night where something's going on with my PlayStation network, and as soon as somebody started messaging, it just keeps on popping up, popping up, popping up. Like last night got up to like over 1,000. It's just annoying that it keeps on popping up in my dang screen the whole time. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, you guys, but I do apologize. I'm sure it's nothing I should be apologizing for, but it's just kind of annoying that that has to be in my whole stream. I was hoping it was just something last night, but apparently it's not. So I was going to cut down the small trees too. I will be taking a few of them out if they get in my way. Like some of these might be. But for now I'm just going to keep on pulling the bigger trees out of this patch of forest here. See how much we can get just from all the largest ones. It's better to be more selective with your forestation instead of just cutting everything down. Whoa. Flipped around more than I wanted it to. Let's see if I can turn it back a little bit. That's probably fine. Oops. I did not mean to turn it off. Open that back up. Oh, I had it just right. There we go. Lower it down a little bit. Ah! Pushed the wrong button again. Oh. Now on to the next. There we go. Whoa. Wow, I was getting caught up on the other tree. I was getting caught up bad. It's a big old tree. What's going on? Why is this stuff like that? Alright, there. Wow, this tree is just really big. See if I can straighten it out against the building a little bit. It's probably fine. Yeah, it's a nice big old tree. Yeah, it is a big one because the other trees that are good size have been only 2 pieces like that one. That one was bigger. That one's a 3-piece one. That was a bigger tree. Yeah, you always want to make sure you take your time doing this, and you know, it takes some practice using the machinery and stuff. Just takes a lot of practice. Who knows, you could just be a natural. But I know it took me a lot of practice. Still is taking me a lot of practice. Drag it back this way. I was going the wrong direction. I usually pull it like this, and then I'll turn when I get up in here. And usually it's pretty close to where I want it. Then I get up over here. I turn the tree against my cab, which is not realistic. It'd probably smash the harvester in real life. About like that. Oh wait, the logs are kind of facing the right direction. Keep on getting these bigger ones out of here. This tree is pretty much the right direction that we want it to be, so we shouldn't really have to turn it too much. Just drag it over here. Debranch it and chop it down. This one should be a pretty good sized tree. Turn the tree just a little bit. Push it back over. And not too shabby. Wonder how much we'll get for those. So I do need to push them up with the tractor. That should be good. I'm gonna wait until that message thing pops up one more time. And then I'm gonna hit it so I can see what it says. Yeah, 35 grand. So we're doing pretty good. We're getting up there pretty fast. Yeah, we're up 19 grand for the day. That's not too bad with all the vehicle run. The leasing cost was 63. Land purchase was 255 grand. And then construction cost was 66. So, you know, there was a few things there. Yeah, wood sold. We've made $234,608 off of selling wood so far. Not too bad. So we're just now getting in the profit. It is 10:41 in the morning, day one. So we're not doing too bad. Open this back up. And off to get some more trees. What's good about this harvester too, it drives over stumps pretty well. So as long as you do your stumps low enough, you don't have any problem driving over the stumps. But you can always come back and clean them all up when you're all done. Probably just leave the tractor right there, right? That way it holds them from rolling. He said the tree chomper. This is the tree chomper that doesn't get rid of your tree. And you make money off of it. That T-Rex or Trex, whatever people want to call it. That thing just deletes your trees. That's the tree chomper. But you don't get any money for cutting the trees down. I figure if you're going to get rid of a tree, you might as well take it and make some profit off of it. And do all that. Oh, dang, I pushed the wrong button again. Open it back up. Oh. There it goes. Down just a little bit more. Up. And then drag back. When you go up and you drag back, the tree falls the direction you want it to fall. Because normally you should be dragging the tree out of the forest. Turn it just a little bit against the cab here. Alright. So yeah, if you stay on it pretty good, you can get through some trees pretty quick with this machine. As long as you're just doing what I'm doing. You know, like right now I'm not loading onto a truck, so it's a little bit faster. I'm just dragging the trees right out and chopping them down right onto the cell point there. But this is how we're going to make our money. You know, we started with minus $7. I know I do say starting with $0 and a chainsaw. I started with negative $7, a crappy truck with no gas. I still haven't put gas in it yet. I haven't driven it anywhere. And a chainsaw. And we just started cutting down chunks and putting it in the wood chipper over there. We did start on a new farmer, so like we had a little bit of land. I think we do have a field over there that we could work here pretty soon. And a shed, the wood chipper. I think there's a silo and stuff over there. So we started with a few things. A little shack for like sleeping, stuff like that is over there. But that's about it. We don't own any equipment yet. We're just leasing the equipment right now. And some of the land that I purchased in the beginning didn't have as many trees on it as I was hoping. So I hope that we can get enough wood cut down over here to be able to afford another piece of land with a nice amount of trees on it. Oops. If you know what I mean. Because if we don't get enough money over here, we're going to have to figure something out on our next move. Nice, I'm glad I caught that. It was going over the tractor dozer blade. Oh, like that, dang it. I'll have to get that out of there now. Oh, alright. Went right through. Well, that was easier than I thought it would be. 21,000. You know what? I think we'll be fine because I just remember each plot of land is like 85 grand, I think. So this is what we own right now. We own this little area. But man, what I really like to do is maybe look in them. Let's see how 22 is. See all the brown? That's where a lot of the trees are. So we want to be on an area like that. Like 12 and 22 are super good. Or 40. But I think that's the area that we want to be. Let's see. So that's going to be, yeah, 22 is all of this in here. We definitely want 22. So it looks like that's what we're going to do. Come over here. 22 and 12 has a bunch of trees. So that right there, if we buy that one plot, that should be enough money to really get us going. Do something nice. So we have enough money right now to buy it. Yeah, 85 grand. Each chunk is 85 grand. And this is a big map, you know, if you guys saw my other um, my No Man's Land, one map, one field. That's this whole entire map all plowed into one field. So like you could tell the area we're working compared to the field that I made on the other one is huge. Alright, so 85 grand. We're buying that. Now we have 55,000 in the bank. We'll finish getting some of these taller trees out of this area here. And then we're going to work on probably taking this over to 22. Start to cut different size down, maybe 10 or 12 meters. And we'll get a Griffin and NMC trailer, log trailer, and get it taken out there. And what I'm hoping we could do, which I'm not sure if we can, is drive the trailer right over the trigger on the mill there, on our sell point, and hopefully we could just jump out, hit the trigger, and the logs would go off the trailer. I hope that's how that works. That way we only have to load them once. Oh, and I do want to do some stump grinding a little bit too before we move out of this area, so we'll just take a few more trees out of here, or however many I feel like. Some pretty decent trees over here, but I don't want to totally deforest our land over here. These are all, a lot of these in here are actually really good trees, so let's see about how many I take out of here. I might just do a few more over here, clean up, and that other area will keep us busy for a long time. But I just want to use that whole area to pretty much pay for our daily um, equipment usage, and to be able to save up more money to get some farm equipment going and all that type of stuff as well. We gotta get our fields planted for the season, and then we'll just be doing logging. Maybe we'll get into some animals, get a BGA going, stuff like that, you know. Whatever we can do to make some money on this one, since we started with no money. I might just leave it like that for now, so I'll just park this here. The stump grinder guy's back over there. Let me lower this down just a little bit. There we go. Jump back in the tractor here. Scoot those up just a hair. And we'll go ahead and get those sold. Now we have $69,000. Not too bad. Really, it's not too bad at all because the land on here is pretty cheap. So if we got just a little bit more, stuff cut down, we'd be able to afford a whole other plot. But we're just going to go ahead and focus on what we have for now. Get this lower down. Detach. Oh, I shouldn't have put it right there just because I need to grab the chipper. I'll put it there. Hopefully not knocking it over. And we'll hook up the wood chipper here on the front. The wood chipper, I mean the stump grinder. It kind of turns it into chips, but wood chipper is not the same thing. You just gotta turn this on. Hold it over your stump just for a little bit like that. And there it goes. Takes just a little bit of practice with it. Because you could turn it this way with your joystick, or you could turn it by steering. So I do a combination of the two. Steer and get it pretty much there, and then use a joystick to finish it up. I almost wouldn't mind planting some trees on here either, but it's going to take, it would take a long time for them to grow since it's on seasons. But I might still plant some trees just for fun. It'd be fun to build this map up quite a bit since I started with nothing, you know, so we might be able to keep this one around for a while. This map, I want to build a cool farm on here and maybe even like a town and all that stuff on here as well for you guys. So it'll take us a little bit to get into it. We got a pretty good amount of trees harvested out of here. Hey, what's up, Billy Hurls? Glad you made it, dude. How you doing today? Oh, you're doing good? I'm doing well, thank you. Glad you're doing good. Yeah, sometimes you gotta get to the right angle. Let's see if I can bring that down. See, we gotta go to the other side or come at it from a different angle because we're too far down the hill there. Put that back up. Gotta come at it from like this angle. Yeah, we don't have too many more of these. I was saying we did harvest a pretty good amount of trees though. We got about $250,000 or so is how much we harvested out of here. And that's with all the beginning stuff when we were just using the chainsaw when we first started. If you guys haven't seen that episode, go back and watch when we first started. It's a little slower, you know, to start from $0, you know. But actually we started with a -$7 and a chainsaw. Just had to buck all the chunks in, toss them up in the wood chipper. Got us up there money pretty quick. This wood chipper is pretty cheap. I bought this and I bought that dozer blade because both of those things are both pretty cheap. I know I want them, so instead of worrying about an extra leasing cost, I just went ahead and paid for those. Looks like we just got a few more here. And our area's all cleaned up. Gotta say, you should always go back and clean up after yourself. Keep it nice and tidy, you know. I suppose I do have those other stumps to clean up as well where we first started. On the other side of this little tree line here we're working. Yeah, logging is definitely one of those more tedious things, but you know, if you're up for a challenge, you want to do something a little bit different besides just farming fields. Um, Forestry is definitely different and a good way to go if that's what you're looking for. I like it because it's fun. You get to use different equipment, but more so it's just a challenge. So I like it because of that. Yeah, so in episode 1 when I started, I was up in here cutting all these trees down by hand, taking all of the, oh no, I guess I was dragging some trees out of here. Up in the front there is where I did it by hand. Yeah, when I first got the harvester, before I got the mill, I got the harvester and was bucking chunks into the chipper. And then I had enough money to buy the mill. I bought the mill, and then we did that a little bit. Then I had enough money to get the tractor. So I did have to buy. You have to buy the mill, but I did lease. I leased the tractor. I leased the harvester. So yeah, a lot of these stumps up here is where I was cutting stuff down by hand. See if we get this one out of the air here. It wouldn't let me cut it down with the harvester or anything. I had to cut it really high up, but it should let me get rid of it like that. You don't have to use this one, but it works pretty well. There's that, like that T-Rex thing I was talking about, which is if you go into vehicles under forestry machines, it's this one right here, the Trek 600 or T-Rex, some people call it, but it's 190 grand. I like this thing too, dragging logs out. But yeah, that Trex will pretty much delete a whole tree. If you go up to it, it'll grind it for a bit, and the whole tree goes boop, all gone. So that's pretty sweet that for that thing. Alright, well, that's enough stump grinding for now. I'm going to come over here to our shed. I probably missed a few stumps. I'm not too worried about it. We got a whole bunch cleaned. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to store this in our shed here. I won't need that for a little while. I do want to come over here. I want to get the dozer blade. So here's some tree parts I left over here. I was chopping all those down. We harvested a pretty good amount of trees out of here. Oh, I missed some stumps over here still too. Oh well, I'll come back later on and do a better cleanup. Alright, so now what we're going to do, we're going to drive over to field 22. He said if you keep using names like Griffin and Trix, I'm going to play. Well, there's a really badass Griffin on here. You'll see me use the Griffin really soon. And then I'll probably get the Trex later on. Cut down some trees, or maybe as just a stump grinder. It's a lot better to use than the other stump grinder. You can just drive it around, but it's more expensive. But yeah, this is a cool tractor too here, huh, Billy? Look at that. Thing's badass. So I think this is 22 here. Let's see what we got. Almost 22, so just to be sure what we're gonna do. I know we're on the right one now, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna start on this side. We'll start right in there and start pulling trees out to here. Something like that. Alright, so that's gonna stay there. So what we have to work on doing, we'll go in here to trucks, and we're going to look at the Griffin, which the Griffin is this one here, an MC Griffin. Pretty sweet truck. This is how it comes to start. We're gonna want one of these. We're gonna go to rim color. We're gonna do all the olive again on this one as well. I just like that for my forestry equipment type of stuff. It looks more um, like rough, rugged, like for camping almost when it's like military olive green like that. So I do that. And then I always get the 730 horsepower put into it. Decal, I like that one because it's like you can see the trees and the harvester on that one, the mountains and stuff like that. So that one's a cool one. And then I always do. I don't mind the look of that one, but I like this one, the 8x4x2. And then what we have to do is go up to configuration. And I don't mind that one actually because it has the 3-point in the front. Maybe we'll just do that one right there. But it gives you that light bar on the front and the big spotlight up there as well. Maybe we'll see what other ones are there. Maybe it's 29 is the one I like. I don't want to change that. That's without that top little light bar. I wish it didn't send you back up to the top of the menu after you have to go down and then back up again. Alright, maybe it's a different one. We'll find out. I like the front guard in the front. You'll see what I mean when if I ever get to it. Come on. So that is pretty much the same. It's interesting. Not really sure what it changed there. Light bar is gone again. Oh, I see you got that piece on top now. Without anything on top with the 3-point on the front. Dang it. I'll get to it eventually. There it is. With that front guard on there and the lights on top like that. That's how I like it. But we're going to switch the wheel brand still. The Nokians or Lizards. Those are a lot more knobbies. But I have to switch the wheel setup here back to the 8x4 twos. See how it makes them look a lot knobbier. So we're gonna lease that for $10,863. What do we have left? 58,000 left. So that's our truck that we need. We're gonna go in here to tools, and under forestry equipment, scroll over here to the NMC trailers, which this is the one that I want. Again, olive everything, just like that. And we'll lease that for $2,400. And then we have to go back over here to vehicles, go into miscellaneous, and then we're getting the Liber 902 with the tracks. And this one I usually go black 2, black 1, like that. Forestry, release that. See, we saw 51 grand. And then what we want to do is go in tools, miscellaneous. We need to get this one. See, this one has the top little bit. It's kind of loosey-goosey. This one is a lot stiffer and easier to control, which I like better. Oops, not that one. We want this one. Main color, black. And we'll lease that as well for $153. And then I will need to get this heavy haul. It's the the hitch for the trailer or whatever for the Griffin. Drama at my house. He said where my wife works, someone has COVID. Oh man, that is not good, dude. Not good at all. So I don't think I leased that one yet. So that's leased now. I didn't lease two of those. So we got this whole setup. See how light bar's tight, right? See that? Billy Griffin. See the lights are cool too. Inside looks awesome. The mirrors work well on this one. You could use your mirror over there to back up to your trailer depending on the angle you're at. And, you know, some trucks you don't. Oh, I'm missing something though. I need to back up to the heavy haul. Let's see, where's that back there? See, I couldn't pick it up because we weren't hooked up to this yet. So with the mirror, it's like I said, that's what I was saying. In certain vehicles, the mirrors work good for you. So now that we have that on there, so if you like want to do like in-cab driving and stuff like that, the mirrors are cool on this one. Some stuff the mirrors don't work very good. Like I wish they go back and fix that, but you know we could use the Griffin here without even getting out or looking, which is how real life would be. Like you would get out and look in real life and then hook everything up, but when you're backing up, you wouldn't be in this view, you know. Yeah, isn't that thing cool looking? With all the olive, and then on this truck, if you, oh, not that. Yeah, see that tire gets small. So if you want more traction or different like turn radius, and also you can adjust this on here as well. Depending on how you want to turn, or if you want to actually get a little bit more room on your logs or something like that. It's fast. I seen you in the black one on the other map. Oh yeah. You said you got hit by a car, remember? I don't know what you're talking about. Nah, I'm just joking. I totally remember that. That was on Goldcrest Valley. Yeah, I do have the black one with the yellow rims on there, huh? We're just gonna cut through out this way. And then I have to get that 902 brought out here, which will take a little while. I don't really want to get transport trailer for the equipment. I want to just drive it out. So bear with me while I do that. I'll put it in cruise control and I'll do a smoke break while I'm waiting to get it out here. But that's a nice chunk of forest that we got going on here. This will be the first, like, I've messed around with some forestry on No Man's Land, but this will be the first actual forestry I've done on No Man's Land where I'm loading logs on a truck and taking them to sell and stuff. So this should be pretty fun. Hopefully the game cooperates. So far I've had no complaints with No Man's Land, and you guys saw what I did to it on the other Let's Play. Pretty much destroyed the whole thing. All depends on who you ask, I guess. So see this thing here? When you get this machine, this arm, oops, this arm will be down like this, but this thing will be like this. So it doesn't really, your machine doesn't like you to grab like this, because when you come to get it, you're like, what the heck's going on? I can't even pick it up. It's not working. Well, you got to make sure, oops, wrong direction. You got to make sure you lift this up, but this front little hydraulic here, you got to make sure this is pulled back into this position here, because that's actually closer to the position that that tool's in right now. And then you want to open up a little bit like this more, and then come down and grab it. That way it doesn't like, see how it didn't really fling the tractor up when it's already in that position there, and then you can drop it back down after that. It's just kind of weird. When I first started messing with this 902, I was kind of confused by that. I thought it was kind of weird. But I tell you what, man, this thing is sweet. It takes some getting used to, takes some playing. Oh, you know what? Before I even leave from here, there's one more. Oops. There's one more thing I want to buy for this before I forget, and that's the little dozer plate that goes on the front, the little blade that goes up here. So I'll do that. Sometimes I'll forget, and then I'll like, even though I have the tractor with the dozer blade, it's nice to be able to, it's called a leveler, but it's nice to be able to have this on the front. At least that, without like, you could use the little dozer blade without having to get out and get your tractor and get it over there, and you could just have this thing on the front here. Whenever you need, you could just, you know, pick it up or down and move your logs. I used to always use it for like pushing logs and squaring up piles, but it's not. See, yeah, it attaches that piece on the front, and then it always takes me a second to remember. Oh yeah. So it's R1, L1, and right and left on the left joystick, which should be able. Yeah, but we'll just keep it up for now. You talk when I'm coughing, LOL. Well, quit your damn coughing, Billy. No coughing allowed. Figured you'd be smoking for enough years, you know when to cough and when not to cough. He must be doing his smoke break right now, too. That doesn't sound too bad. This 902 is going to take a little while to crawl over there. But any kind of like moving big equipment and stuff like that, or mining, different stuff like that, if they're not doing like a big move where they're moving from like mine to mine or like claim to claim type of thing, or haul it even further, setting up a whole new base of operations, they usually drive it like this at 8 miles an hour. Takes a long time. That's funny. He said, fine, I'll play tonight if I figure out how to go broke in the game. Yeah, going broke in the game's actually not that bad. You go in and you know, you buy your piece of land that you want, you get your couple little things that you want, and then, or nothing, and no land. It's really hard. On No Man's Land, you have to start with something, because other maps you can start with nothing and do contracts. Well, there's no contracts on No Man's Land because there's nobody out here but us. But you can lease equipment and then return it. So if you're leasing something for 25 grand, return it, you lost 25 grand. And you do that until you're all the way down to almost nothing. You start getting to lower money, you have to find certain stuff of that price range to be able to lease. Let's say you have like, oh, I have $1,000 left. You have to find something for, you know, 1,000 exactly, or just under $1,000. And I think I found something that was just a hair over, and I went minus $7. He said, I can't make money unless I buy a farm, right? Yeah, you have to. No, not true. If you were on a map that has contracts where other farms are already going, if you had no farm, you would just be allowed to work their land, and you get paid as a worker, and then you finally get enough money to be able to afford your own piece of land. You could work, you could do it like that. I can't make money without a farm. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, Billy. On this one, no. That's too much. Um, it's not bad if you just start with the base money or whatever they give you as like new farmer, and then buy like a couple little fields. Like on this one, for example, you buy a couple fields, you can do whatever you want with it. Very little money that you'll have left, but you'll be able to work it up from there. That's a pretty easy way to go. We still have a little ways to get there, so I'm gonna go ahead and smoke. You guys smoke them if you got them. Yeah, it's a pretty sweet machine. I like the way it sounds too, for the most part. We're starting to get so close. And then I just need to get the harvester over. And that will be all set. We can start getting some trees cut down. We'll try 12-meter trees. We'll try that. See how it fits on the trailer. He says so. Look for contracts. If you go into here, maybe there are. I'll see. That's interesting. So there are contracts, but for no dollars. But in a game, that's what you would do. You go into this one here, and if your map had contracts, you would go into this one here, and your contracts would be here. You pick which one you want to do, and go from there. I think that patch of trees right up ahead there is our. Yeah, it's ours right there. We'll start seeing our equipment here in just a bit. He said too fast. I never played. If you're talking about the contracts, you just push start or options button, and then it's up here in your main menu. You can scroll over with your right and left bumper. R1, L1. Go into this paper one, which is your contracts. You pick what contract you want. You hit accept contract or borrow items, whichever one you need to do. But as you see there, it's for $0. So we don't want to do work for $0. Yeah, we're dismissing our harvester now. When you guys saw me using the harvester last time before tonight, that harvester that I was using wouldn't allow us to do anything over 8-meter logs. That was the biggest, and that's pretty small. So we're gonna try to do 12s tonight. See where that gets us. Just park this out here for now. Leave our truck there. Now we just gotta drive this over here to 22 and get busy. So that's not sewing clothes, right? What? I get it. Options. Oh, you said sewing. You were talking about this one. Sewing, sewing, sewing. Yeah, you gotta sow the fields. But there's not even fields on this map. There's one field that we own. But I would like to. We own all this land back here. Like this whole area back here is like super good place to put like a field. But we'll figure it out. All we need to do is get a little bit more money, and um, we can buy a few nice flatter ones. Like right in the middle of here is actually pretty good. You're a funny guy, Billy. Man, right there, that, oh yeah, it's 12, yeah. That whole patch right there is a nice chunk of trees, too. Yeah, so that's the top of our little stretch where we're starting to work. We'll go buzz down here and see how many trees we can get going. Wonder how many trees we have cut down already. Trees cut down, total 53 trees cut down. Those first trees were definitely, definitely a lot more work because I was chopping them into, bucking them into chunks and tossing them by hand in the wood chipper to get started. He said I'll name my trap or my sorry, he'll name he said he'll name his map Oregon Trees and I'll grow trees everywhere. Hell yeah. But when you grow trees, you can't just plant trees right anywhere. You actually have to plant trees in a field that is like an actual field that has been plowed, and you can't just. I wish you could just drop the tree harvester or a tree planter wherever and start getting busy, but I don't think it works like that. I want to remove a few of these smaller ones here as well. Turn on the help window. Alright, so that length was already 12 that we were cutting those at, so maybe I want to do 10 still. So this one allows you to do 25-meter trees, which is 75-foot long trees, which is awesome. We'll go up to 10 meters. That seems to fit in the trailer pretty well. Oops, not that. Sorry, I keep pushing the wrong button. Get that unfolded. Sometimes this view for me is just the better view. You have to get used to like going right for left and left for right with this. But it's not too bad once you get the hang of it. Some of these smaller trees are harder to see too because the branches go so low. Where the taller ones, the branches are like cut at the bottom or falling off. So we'll cut that, we'll lift that. Just gotta figure out where I actually want to drag these things to, and I'll set the truck up. Maybe we'll just start by just putting them out here. I could always push them around to somewhere else. See, the bigger ones are easier to see at the base. This is the type of tree we're trying to go for. That smaller one was just in my way. So now it's going to give me some money for it. So we're just going to go like that. And And then all these ends like this one right here, we'll just put all those in a pile, and we'll do a whole load later on with all those. If it starts getting a little glitchy because we have so many of them, we'll start doing a load. But I'm not too worried about those little ends. Yeah, we want these nice sized trees like this. That's what we're going for. Shouldn't take us too long to get a nice little chunk of tree out of here. Start opening it up. Once we make a clearing in here, we'll probably start moving, doing like stacks in here as well. Bringing the truck in here, loading up in our little forest area here. So yeah, you just gotta kind of find your rhythm, and I usually drag them out and then try to stack them like this. And then I'll come back with like the dozer and try to clean up my pile, stack it up a little neater, and then come in with the 902 and start picking them up, loading them onto the truck. And if you do this, you sure can get through a lot of trees in a hurry, you know? But it does take practice. If you're having trouble with it, you know, take a break, come back to it. It's not for everybody. It is a little bit more tedious, so if you're new to the game itself, and you never even really played the game that much at all, farming might not be the best way to start, but if you have the patience for it, then try it out, you know? I think this will be a good logging map because, you know, the terrain isn't too bad, and lots of trees on here. And these trees are nice too, especially over here in this plot. A lot of these are fat trees. Yeah, these trees right here are going to be a nice little price tag. Nice little payday for us. Yeah, some of these are nice. You can tell they're good when they have the branches way up the tree like that. Oh, that stump was a little bit higher. I try to get them lower than that. That way I can drive over them pretty easy. He has a big tree. Does that be our end, you know? But that's a whole nother bit, and then the tip on top of that too. Well, those trees are tall when you see them like that. That's how you know it's a nice long tree. I'll show you what I'm talking about again when I find another one of those. It's cool that you can like see the difference. Probably like this one right back in here. Probably all these right here are the same, like big old tall ones. Man, there's a lot of good trees in here, huh? Yeah, they're, man, boom, big old tree. That's awesome. These might be some of the tallest trees I think I've ever harvested. I always thought like the big trees were all the same, but man, they're like big ones, and then there's these. Or like there's large trees, and then there's these big ones, you know? See, because with those other tall trees, it'd be like one, two, and then the tip, the small little 6 foot tip, this has a hole, another chunk, and then the longer tip. Nothing wrong with that. Starting to get a good pile of logs going there. I might have to start loading some of these up on the truck. I don't want them to start getting all too glitchy on the ground here. I feel like when they get loaded up in the truck, they aren't as, doesn't like lag out as bad when they're loaded up. I think that's how I felt, or how I feel about it. I feel like when they're loose on the ground down here, they're not like locked into the um, the sides of the trailer there. It's like they glitch out more. Just gonna back this all the way up out of the way here. And before I do that, I'm gonna grab this, square up the pile just a little bit better. I could do it with the 902, but this one has a way taller dozer blade on it, which is nice. And this tractor should be able to deal with this pile pretty well here on this ground. It's pretty flat. Square it up a little bit better like that. And the logs will kind of roll and they'll kind of settle around, but you straighten them up, and then you come over here. Push them in on this side a little bit. And even if they fall down, at least like they're like the same direction. They don't need to be stacked. We're going to be like kind of unrolling them, kind of unstacking them as we grab them with the 902. Just having them all facing the same direction. And what I'm doing now, I'm like lining them up better. That way, we can grab all from the same spot and have more of an even load. Sometimes you have to go back and forth. I can push that one out that way. Just hit these around like that. It takes some adjusting here or there. Just gotta have patience. That's why I always say you gotta have patience logging, because it doesn't always cooperate with you. You just gotta keep on going, and just like this one here, we should be able to push that one right back in. Just like that. Now we got that nice stack. Then we gotta figure out where we want to have the truck to fill up. He says, after I go to mods and install them, how do I get them in game? After you go to your mods and install them, what you do is you start your career or whatever, multiplayer. I would start with career if I was you. And then they'll have you pick your map. So start with like Felsbrunn or something. That's the one that a lot of people like to play when they start. That's the one I played for a long time when I started. And when you go on there, it'll have your whole mod list pop up of all your different mods, and you could either select or deselect the mods that you want. You could select or deselect all of them, or you could do them individually, and then you'll hit start or whatever, and you'll pick your character. Like I think you can pick your shirt and stuff like that, your shirt color, and then you start your game, and your mods will be in there. I hope they answer your question. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull up right here for now. Like this. See if we can load them in like that. Jump in the 902. And the controls on this are a little bit different than the Harvester, so it takes a little bit to get to get used to it again, you know. But you want to pull up like right in the middle. That way where you're grabbing the logs is in the balancing point or closer to it. You said yes, Billy. That was that yes for yes it helped? Because I hope so. Get a little closer so we can see what we're doing here. That bush is like totally in my view, but I can work around it. So I just want to go down. See if we can grab some of these. Even one. One's a good start. I think I'm just going to put these right in between here. Yeah, see those. If you guys were watching me on Goldcrest Valley when I was doing those 8-meter logs, they didn't quite fit on here very good. The 10s fit way better, but I do want to scoot it forward just a hair. Get this down there without hitting that. Yeah, just like that, like a pro. Like I said, it takes practice. But once you start playing with it, you can get pretty good with it, you know. Just depends on how much patience you have and all that stuff. Ooh, if I was able to get that whole grab there, that'd be sweet. Let's see. I'm surprised I picked those up. We got 3. Sometimes it lets you get good grabs. I do 4 sometimes, but then it starts like acting like it didn't actually grab them. It's kind of weird. Let's see, we should be able just to drop them all in like that. So once you actually start getting like the hang of your equipment, you can do pretty good, pretty quick. Just takes a little bit to get used to the controls. Also knowing like your depth, it's hard. It's almost like you have tunnel vision sometimes. Your depth perception is off sometimes when you play this game. So learning that as well takes some time. See if I can drag that one out a little bit better there. And that one's really gonna screw us, isn't it? That's why I usually like getting those out of there. grab this thing out of here. It's like the claw game, right? You guys know the claw game? Didn't get it that time, guys. I wonder if I can... you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna chop this fucker out of here. Oh, we don't have access, huh? Of course we don't have access to this land. Why would we? Get this opened up again. Still getting used to this view. This view is kind of weird because I can't see what the actual excavator's doing. Let's see if I can pull it out from the top. See, I can't see that view because I can't see what the whole machine is doing. He said, I'm in lobby. That's what's up. About time, Billy. He said, field of view should... I should change it higher. Not sure what you mean. Come on, you little log. Maybe I'll just leave it there, see if we can drive with it. Hopefully that doesn't cause more problems. Let's see if I can just get the bigger ones. I got a smaller one, but let's just see if we can load them up. Let's drive it. It's nice when you can like just turn and then load instead of having to drive. They do have that big mill loader. I'll show you guys that in a second. I kind of want to get one eventually. I don't have that much experience operating one of those. What am I doing? Pick it up a little bit. Trying to straighten these out on here before I drop them. Of course, they still want to twist and turn. Not too bad. But yeah, the mill loader, it looks like this. Going to forestry machines. This is the mill loader right here. Call it the Franken loader, I think. Maybe this isn't the Franken. But the mill loader is nice. The thing is tall. You can't even see the top of it. The thing's so tall. But it does have straps in here too, inside the bucket. So you open up the claw. I said the bucket. You open up the claw, and there's actually straps in there. Oh yeah, with the back weight, that's tight. You know what? It's only 21 grand at least to lease. I'm gonna drive it over there. So I'm gonna bring this over here now. I like this a lot too. We'll keep this as well. But what the hell? We got 30 grand in the bank, which doesn't even cover our cost for the day. But we do have all these logs that we'll take in and get some money for here in just a bit. So we're gonna jump over there to the old Franken loader here. Oh yeah, see the Frankenstein. See that? Yeah, That's tight. Thing is sweet, huh? Pretty basic inside. And pretty good visibility though around besides that side. Got good visibility on the old claw. Should be able to grab some good logs. Should you play it? Whoa, what's going on? Like I got stuck in the ground. Should you play start from scratch? I would just go new farmer or farm manager. But if you go new farmer, it'll give you some like pieces of equipment to play with and stuff like that that you get to test out, you know. Alright, so we're bringing this thing back, you guys. It's gonna take a little while. Time for bathroom breaks or smoke breaks or whatever you guys want to do. It'll take us some time, and hopefully it's going to be well worth it. This thing is sweet. Yep, very cool. Chug-a-lug-a-lug, 4 miles an hour. He said, I just had a snack break. Did you have a snack break, Pooter? What did you have for a snack? You didn't get me any snacks? You know I like snacks. It's funny, we were just talking about like a favorite food type of thing or whatever. I was talking about how I like steak taco, like asada tacos, like street tacos. I made my own tonight. I got the meat from the store that was already seasoned and stuff, and did the street taco shell, double tortillas with onions and cilantro and some cheese, and then avocado and tomatoes, and what else did I have on there? I think that was about it. Green sauce. I think that was it, but man, they were good. Ellerbach, is that a good map? I'm not sure. I know that if you're looking for a good one to start playing on, just try the in-game stuff first. Start with, um, there's like Ravenport, that's a really good one to start with, or Felsbrunn, a really good one to start with. Those are not mods. Those are just already there. So if you want to just jump right in and start playing on a decent map with a lot of stuff to offer, then those maps are already in game. If I was you, Billy, I would start there, kind of figure stuff out, because if you download a map, you have to wait for it to download. You might not even like it. What I do if I want to see a map, I'll go into YouTube and I'll search the map and I'll find the map I'm looking for, you know, whatever, and I'll see if I like it on there or not. I'm like, oh, that's cool, I should check it out more. Then I'll go and download it. Every once in a while I'll download a new map and it's not that great, but if you do want a really cool one to download, try Lone Oak. That's a super good map. Or Sussex Farms. You've been watching me play Sussex. It's a really good one as well. Um, No Man's Land's awesome, but you kind of have to build your own map on this one, which is awesome because, you know, you can do whatever you want. You had a Lunchable. Cute. He had a Lunchable. Where's my Lunchable? You didn't get me a Lunchable. As soon as I'm done streaming, I'm gonna make some more tacos. I'm hungry now that I said all that. Oh yeah, no problem, Billy. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Maybe if you're on after the stream or whatever, we can play multiplayer together. He said, yeah, I'm hungry too. Man, are we to our area yet? Ah, oh, man, this thing's taking forever. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. Getting this thing over here is not easy, but once we're over here on site with the equipment, it's going to be a totally different story. I hope this thing's worth it, because we just spent like, what, 20 grand to lease it. Use it, it's not going to be cheap. But if it does what I hope it does, then it should work out pretty good. But it's going to take some getting used to and all that. You know, even just like being able to figure out, you know, all this, that moves fast, so I want to make sure I go nice and slow and steady with it. You know, nice and smooth. You don't want to be flinging your... I guess this motion here is pretty smooth. But the motion of that when you got the boom way out like that, that's pretty fast for your logs, so just gotta make sure you go nice and smooth and steady. Don't do any of that. I might even lower my arm sensitivity while I use this one. It's just a really long arm, so it's just like telegraphed down, you know, and the movement's multiplied because the arm is so long. It's like being on a boom lift. If you guys have ever been on a boom lift in real life, when you get, you know, if you're like in a 60 or 100 foot boom lift or something, when you're fully extended out there, you're in the basket, any slight little movement, it's a big movement when you're fully out. I was in a 120 foot boom one time, and we were about 100 foot up, and I moved it over just a hair, and it was just like, whoa, you know, we're all harnessed in and stuff, but man, it had a lot of movement because we were so far up, so far extended, and like that, you know, the boom lift barely moved, but since it's like so much movement coming from the bottom of the equipment all the way to the very top, it's like, whoa. And if you're like extended too, if you're in like a 40 footer or something like that and you're just driving it, they're pretty fast. And if you're like extended out of the back and you go to like do like a hard right, man, that thing swings so freaking fast if you're on the back of it like that. Oops. That's why I think it'd be pretty fun. That's why I like this game a lot, because you could operate all the different equipment. Because I've played around with a few different things in life. Bobcat a little bit. I've done excavating with smaller excavators some years ago. I use a forklift all the time. I've done a lot of boom lift work. I've done grade all work, different stuff like that. And I always had a blast doing all that. I was always pretty good at that. So playing this game and being able to operate all the different equipment is it's a lot. It's most of the fun is that right there. That was the appeal to me when I first got FS15. I'm like, oh, cool, like farming, like I'll try that. You know, I could run the tractors and stuff. And I tell you what, the games came a long way from when it first started. Even on 15 to now, it's came a long way. So finally, we can see our other stuff up there, other equipment. All that group of trees up there is all of our trees. And what I'm going to do here is turn on the old help window. Yeah, so you fasten, unfasten tension belts. R1 and then R3. That's supposed to be in here, like you open this all the way up. Let's see if we can see it do its thing here. So R1, R3, yeah, the straps are up in there. It's supposed to strap around the logs and pick them up without the claws even being there. So we could just use the straps, I think. You wander there, Pete is. Are you drinking, Pooter? What are you drinking? Sound like you're drunk. Drunk typing. I think you meant to say, I wonder where Pete is. Well, Pistol Pete, he's here. He's hit or miss. Unlike you, I think Pooter, you've been here, what, man, that's probably day 6 in a row or something for you, buddy. I really, really appreciate you being here. You just sipping on that sweet tea? I should have known. It's so weird, my cat came over and started, like, clawing at me almost, trying to get my attention. What's up, kitty cat? What do you want? I think she wants to get stoned. She usually comes over when I'm smoking. My dog, he runs like he's a freaking cop. Like he's the police is how my dog runs when I blow it at him, or even when I pretend like I'm gonna do it, he just runs. My cat is like, oh yeah. She's laying over here with me. I think she just is waiting for me. Might have to load up something fresh here in a second for her. It's so weird. Like I know that she enjoys it. My old family dog was a German Shepherd, and she used to enjoy it as well. All right, so I'm gonna see what the strap will do. So strap. Oh my gosh, look at that. Is that even gonna work? Holy crap! Why haven't I been doing that the whole time? Jeez. Wow. That's gonna make light work of that. Whoa. Not if it tips though, huh? Good thing I got that big weight on the back. Oh man. I don't know if I could extend out to. I'm not even gonna try. I'm just gonna turn the whole machine here. That way my tracks are facing the right way. Because if your tracks are sideways, you got way more stability this direction because it's wider. It's pretty square actually, but you always got more stability if you're facing with your tracks. And that's why we can move around without tipping right now, but we want to just get closer. I didn't know I could pick up so many. I'm not even going to be able to put these all in there. Yeah, I might do something real quick, that way I don't just like, whoa, mess the whole thing up here. Whoa. That's so funny. I want to split the load. So I'll bring them down here. Still trying to figure out the controls of this. So we'll get it brought down here. Lower down. Unstrap. And then what I want to do is see if we can grab half. Like that. Because it's wider. It was wider than the dang truck. We don't want that. So like that. Pick them up nice and slow. Make sure we're balanced. Wow. Ooh, whoa. I forgot I was going to turn down the vehicle arm sensitivity here. It's only a 75. 50 is the lowest. So we'll have it at 50. It's just so touchy, so now it feels a lot better. Now we want the controls on this thing to be nice and smooth. We don't want it jerking around and causing us problems. So we just want to get lined up to the middle of those what are those called? I forgot what those spars, I think is what they're called. The sides of the trailer there. So we'll get this lifted up higher than we need. That way we clear everything. And we can still spin it to get it where we want it. We'll lower it down. It's not clearing everything. So we'll go back. Oops, wrong way. We'll go back up a little bit. Just gotta make sure it's all clear in there. And R1, R3. Boom. That's sweet. Alright, so now we could do a little bit of that. I can't believe how much it picked up there. I've been wanting to actually use this thing like for real. I've tried to use it a few times where you just grab the logs like this, which it does pretty good. You know, that's not too bad. You could also strap them, like right now it's strapped in the grabber there, so you could use that strap. I think that's what it's actually intended for. That way your load is more stabilized when you grab it like that. You still just gotta have it balanced in the middle. Quit swinging. Yeah, you got this view, which is kind of hard to see what you're doing up there. And you have this view as well. Which, this is a big piece of equipment, so like, it takes time to kind of figure out your depth perception, you know, and where it is. But I think if I practice more with this view, I think it could end up being pretty cool. So like, we can open up to see it's still strapped, so you go, let's see, do I want to be that way more? Not much. I think that's probably pretty good there. So R1, R3, drop all of them in. Oh, I went the wrong direction. So it'll take a bit to get used to the controls. And then the smaller stuff, I'm not too worried about. We'll come back and we'll do a load of some of the smaller stuff. We'll just get the rest of these picked up here. I'll probably grab that one too. Just like that. This thing doesn't do that bad. Like, if you're just picking up a log like that, just gotta pick it up centered, you know, so it balances okay. This is a little bit off center here. It's not too terrible though. To come back and get those little bits out of my way. I like how it kind of shot out into the track there. You guys see that? Whoa, whoa. Lower it down. Bring it in a little bit. Turn it a little bit. Alright, that'll be fine. Turn that off for a bit. I don't really need that on anymore. I know what the controls are for this now. It's just going to take practice because all the controls are. It's pretty much the same. You know, you can spin the bucket. You can open it. Not the bucket, but the claw. You can open and close it. And you got R1, R3 for the strap underneath. That's about it. Up, this one, up and down. I noticed this doesn't have any beacons on it. There's not one beacon on it. I wish it had some beacons. It should. Because all my stuff has beacons except for this. Pretty sweet. That's a nice little setup for forestry. I'll tell you what. Pretty slick. You said I wish I could play multiplayer with you, but I don't have PS Plus. Yeah, man, you just gotta work on getting that, and we could play. I wouldn't mind playing with you. So yeah, what we're gonna do real quick, we're gonna go jump in the old Griffin. Uh, we'll let that warm up for a sec, or let the AC start, depending on where you're at. See if we can pick up some of these smaller bits, and I just kind of want to stack them. That way it's neat around here, not just the tips just left around. I could even bring the pickup truck over later on. We could load up a whole bunch of these tips and drive them over pretty quick. And half the tips ended up going on that load right there. That Franken loader picks them up like nobody's business. And we got a few in there. That one seems to be a lot better because it was in the way. Alright, so it's a little bit cleaner over here now. We'll still have to get the stump grinder and get in there and start getting some stumps out. See how many trees we got now. On career, you can go in here and check your stats. We got down 62 trees so far. We're not doing too bad. So you can go, see, R1, R3. And you have to switch to that trailer and do that one as well. So now all the logs are all strapped down. And we can go haul them in. And you gotta be careful with these trailers. You see how wobbly they are. Like maybe you know what? Maybe we should stay below that line there, that red line. Maybe you should be below that. That way it's not too top heavy. I wonder if that's what that red line's actually for. So we'll just do a little bit smaller load next time. But I think as long as we don't drive stupid and we get over here, actually we'll go around the back way. You're driving this thing compared to driving 4 miles an hour, driving this thing around at 40 whatever, 35, 40, it's way faster. So it won't take very long to haul these over here to the mill. Which is right there. And hopefully we can just pull this trailer right up in onto the trigger, activate the switch, and hopefully it'll just take the logs right off of the trailer for us automatically, so we don't have to manually unload. So if that's the case, we'll have to get a Franken loader over here as well. But I'm pretty sure as long as we drive this up into here, just like that, we should be able to hit this. And we just got a bunch of money for that load. 47 grand for that front part. So yeah, you like how that worked? We can just jump over here. Wood is gone. So now we're back up to 85 grand. And yep, that's how we're gonna do that. So we're gonna go ahead and take this back over here. Take these straps off. Oh, not that one, There, so we got the straps off now. Our farm is over here. That's our little field that we got. There's a little vehicle workshop there. We got the silo, bale sell point over there. All that was already in the game. So yeah, this one's been pretty fun so far. We're going to do some decent logging. We'll see how much we can make off of that. Hopefully we can make enough to start buying some farm equipment and at least leasing some more equipment. We have that tractor already. We'll be able to use that tractor to do plowing, stuff like that. I'll get that 6M plow, and I'll expand some field, or I'll expand that one field and plow some other ones. So we'll start digging all those out, and we'll come back and we'll have to do some lime. We'll have to fertilize and cultivate and fertilize and seed and fertilize all the way like that. That's pretty much how that's going to be going. Yep, quite the little setup we got here. You gotta love it. I really appreciate you guys being here. Most of you guys that are on tonight, you guys have been here like the past week, every single night, and I really, really appreciate you guys. Um, Subscribers like you guys and viewers like you guys are going to be what makes this channel become something someday. So, I really appreciate all your time that you guys put in on here. I know there's other stuff that you guys could be doing, but every single night you guys come back here to show me love. And for all you new people that are getting on watching me too, I really appreciate you guys as well. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please do. Please drop a thumbs up on this one. I like to try. My goal is to have 10 thumbs up on each episode. 10's not that many, but to me it's a lot. It means a lot. So, um, yeah, please do that. If you want to be kept up to date on all my channel or on my channel for live streams and stuff like that, if you guys want to be involved, go ahead and hit the bell for notifications. I see that somebody else just jumped on here. Um, Sorry, this is coming to an end, but go ahead and check out the stream. It's just ending right now. It's a couple hours long, so go back and watch that from the beginning if you would like to. But yeah, thank you guys all so much. I really appreciate it. You guys have a great night, and I will see you again tomorrow. All right, peace out, guys.